Hi everybody, I hope you're doing well. Before I begin this video and you would like to use OCD Recovery's coaching services, please reach out to Phil at ocdrecovery.com and he will get back to you as quick as he can. Yeah, so today I wanted to speak about the low-hanging fruit in the recovery journey. And what I mean by that is, what is the main genesis of your suffering, right? What is the main thing that you need to tackle and target in order to starve OCD of the fuel that it needs, right? So each person with OCD is going to have different propensities, different behaviors, different fears, and different behaviors, right? So somebody might be more of a reassurance seeker, somebody might be more of an avoider, somebody might be a venter, somebody might do lots of compulsions, somebody might have lots of intrusive thoughts, somebody might not have many intrusive thoughts like Nick. I had a lot of intrusive thoughts, HOCD mainly. So we need to think, each person, although we might have all of these moving parts going on, what happens is there tends to be one area which has the highest grip, the highest hold, and a lot of the suffering will emanate from that. And, you know, if you really target that part of the OCD cycle that you're going through, that will cut off a lot of the supply line to the OCD. So really think about this. So for me, my biggest area was compulsions, right? I was constantly doing compulsions when I was in the peak of the HOCD journey, you know, numerous times an hour. And, you know, I was checking my phone, looking at adult content, looking at pictures just to get that double hit of certainty, you know, looking at somebody on my phone, all those sorts of things, staying in my room all the time. And yeah, that was the main area for me. Yes, I had some intrusive thoughts, didn't really have a great deal of reassurance, didn't really vent. And this was the main area. So I knew that if I tackled this area, you know, my compulsions, I knew that a lot of the fear cycle that OCD was operating on would come down. Not entirely, no, of course, because you still need to do your beliefs, make sure your life structure is good and all the other moving parts in that. But a lot of the suffering and a lot of the progress can be made when you really target your quote unquote weak area. I don't mean like being weak as a person, I mean the area that you struggle the most with, right? So for me, it was compulsion. So what could I do in order to improve that? Could I reduce the frequency at which I did the compulsions? Could I really not stand the discomfort of not doing the compulsion? You know, would I really die on the spot if I felt very anxious? Of course, it's very uncomfortable, and I'm not saying stopping compulsions is easy, but could I really not sit with that? You know, could I really not go an hour without looking at my phone, even though it was a habit? But you know, we can break these habits. Okay, so you got to think like, how can I progress in the area that I'm struggling with? Of course, I mean, you know, you want to progress in all areas, but I'm just now the low-hanging fruit, especially if you're at the start of the journey, especially if you're stuck and you're almost looking up at that mountain and you think, where do I go? What do I do from here? It's so treacherous. It seems so far ahead. Really focus on that low-hanging fruit behavior that you can really work on to tackle the OCD and to start getting your life back. So yeah, like I said, with there it's the compulsions. Maybe it's reassurance for you. You know, maybe you're asking your partner 6 times a day about their past or their feelings for you. Can you get that down to maybe 3 or 4 times as soon as possible? Can you get that down to one a day within the next couple of weeks? And then, you know, you gradually dissipate and it wears, and, you know, the reassurance urges wear off, and you stop asking those questions, because, you know, you've got to think, how can I cut off the supply line for OCD, right? And it's so important that you do that, because that's when you're really going to progress. And then, like I said, you know, you work on the beliefs alongside that. So that's, if you're feeling stuck, you know, or at the start of the journey, or even in a plateau, you know, what is the low-hanging fruit for me? It might be your acceptance as well. Maybe you're just not accepting something. Maybe you're trying to be rid in the moment. Maybe you have the goal of acceptance in order to be rid, which obviously doesn't work for OCD. So just have a think about that. And it's going to be hard. You know, stopping compulsions is hard, very, very hard, very uncomfortable. That safety net will feel like it's been taken away from you. But also suffering with OCD for the rest of your life, that's hard. You know, going to the gym is hard, but then again, staying at home and being sick and unhealthy and not being in the shape that you want and feeling, you know, low and unconfident, that's also hard. You know, everything has a price, and everything and nothing is easy, because that's just life. You know, a great relationship with somebody you have good chemistry with, or you know, you're attracted to them and you get on well with, that is also hard, because it's not going to be like that all the time. There's going to be difficulties, you're going to have your own life going on as well, there's going to be arguments. So everything in life comes with a price, and you know, choose your hard, I suppose. But it's important to realize that you can do this. You know, there is hope. You really can you know, make great progress and great inroads with your OCD. You know, you can make so much progress within a few months. And I know sometimes, you know, especially me at the start of the journey, you look up to the mountain like I referred to there, and you think, you know, it's going to take me 2 or 3 years, as the coaches say. Where do I possibly start? It's just such a long period of time. It almost seems too daunting to even bother doing it, because it's just going to take so much time. But no, day by day, like I said before, low-hanging fruit. See what inroads you can really make in your main weak areas. And yeah, that can really, really make a huge difference in the recovery journey. So yeah, always think, you know, what's the low-hanging fruit? What's the next area which I can really progress in? And you find that as you do that, those other sort of ancillary behaviours that you have, they also start to come down too. Okay, so very important to remember. Thanks guys, and I'll see you in the next video.